Well, good morning, everybody. Let's talk about ELSA, the tropical storm that just doesn't want to do much for us, at least not yet. It's hanging on, and it's still south of Cuba. Now, we know it's got to get north of Cuba before we can really confidently figure out where we think it's going and what kind of strength we're looking at. But currently, it's got 65-mile-per-hour sustained winds around a very small core. Now, they're sending the Hurricane Hunter aircraft up to check it out again more this morning. Might change the location just a little tiny bit, and we'll see how well it's holding together. But there are some pretty vibrant bursts of convection, fancy weather terms for some decent showers and storms wrapping around that eastern side of it. And the motion to the northwest at 14 is something we're going to keep our eyes on. The more north and the earlier that it starts happening, well, it's going to encounter more and more Cuba. The more west it goes, that may shift where this cone ends up being. And while that cone does start to include more and more of the western parts of Florida, I just have to caution, it's going to change still until this gets on the other side of Cuba. Here's what it looks like on the satellite presentation. Definitely not the most classic looking system. We can see some of these darker areas, like one right here, that over the past maybe a half hour or so is starting to burst. Maybe that's real close to that center of this storm, but still a lot of uncertainty with it. We'll watch, we'll see. It looks like it's drifting a little bit more west than north right now. There is some drier air out ahead of it, and so there's going to be a lot of different things trying to tug on it and move it around. They started issuing some more watches and warnings. Now, a warning means those conditions are expected or they're happening. We have none of those up for our area yet, but we do have tropical storm watches for Taylor County, for Lafayette County, for Dixie County. And what that means is during the time frame, like Wednesday, Thursday, it's possible that those type of conditions could get here. So it's enough to raise the eyebrow a little further, saying, all right, it's possible in some of these areas we could feel some of that weather, but it's still too soon to make that call. Hopefully we'll have a much better handle on all that this afternoon when the storm itself gets north of Cuba. But until it finishes interacting with Cuba, there's going to be a lot of change going on with ELSA. Right now, we've got plenty of showers in Taylor, Lafayette, and Suwannee counties, and it's got nothing to do with ELSA. It's got to do with the fact that we've got that draped boundary that's been stuck here for the past couple of days, and that's providing a focus to shake the showers from the clouds. From Perry to Keaton Beach to Cross City, down even towards Chiefland, there's quite a bit of activity. So any travel, Highway 19, Highway 27, Highway 98, all those spots, super soggy right now. I see some showers in parts of Leon County, especially maybe on the western side there of I-10. I've got a couple of showers that are drifting back into parts of Gadsden County too. So we've seen some showers already. We're going to see more as the day goes on. And I think the main progression will be activity from the south and west trying to spill more north and east. Some of the drier air to our north, boy, it would have been nice if we could have pulled some of that in here for yesterday and today, but I just don't think it's going to happen. So we stay warm, humid, muggy, and kind of gross outside. Most of our temperatures low to mid 70s, right? We expect them to be this time of the year. We are experiencing more and more spots with some patchy fog, but so far so good. Visibility's all pretty much better than 5 miles. On the Futurecast, these showers are going to be a big part of our deal for today and for tonight, but it's not going to rain all the time everywhere. It's going to be a continuation of what we had the past couple of days, and that does mean there can be some pretty prolonged breaks and gaps in between all the showers. I think today and tomorrow still pretty similar, as we're still dealing with that old boundary and all this warm, humid tropical air. But we watch and we see if things change for Wednesday, Thursday, and that's going to have a lot to do with what happens with ELSA over the next 12 hours or so as it interacts more and more with Cuba. For the time being, we continue the weather we've had over the past weekend, and that is unsettled and murky and humid and warm. But I think as we get to the other side of whatever's going to be with ELSA, as we get to Friday and the weekend, I see brighter, drier, hotter coming our way. But after the last couple of weeks of all that unsettled, I think we'll trade off the heat for some sunshine.